All right, this segment is something really deep. ALLOURA.
Okay.
How did you meet ALLOURA? How did Christina become ALLOURA? Because, you know, a lot of know the story, but, you know, you and I both know the story really well, so.
Right. ALLOURA, I met her in a group home. You know, we were both young. And out of everybody that was voguing in the room, I saw it in her. Like, I just seen it in her. I mean, she didn't know what she was doing, but she knew that, you know, it was something, but she was doing a different type of thing. Like, she was dipping, but like right here. Like, it was kind of crazy. Like,
it was.
She would dip, but she's slamming right, and I'm like, wait a minute, I do not want you to hurt yourself, okay? You're watching these tapes, this is not what we doing. This is what we doing. Bend your foot back and then lean back. Don't just fall back, because that was, you know, I went through changes in my life at that time. I was a young adolescent, you know, going through whatever, and we all ended up in this type of group home, which was called the Green Chimneys. It catered to gays and transgenders and lesbian kids and stuff like that to make us, you know, live better lives. So that's how we had met, you know, in the process of that. And it was like, oh, wow, like, okay. And at that time, I was trying to blossom from, you know, femme queen performance and doing all that stuff. I wanted to blossom to sex siren and all the other stuff that I was doing. So it was great to have met someone that had a little bit more energy than me, because I could definitely say that. Laura's, regardless her soul, she was very more energetic and faster. So
lightning.
Right.
Electrifying, like they said.
Oh my gosh. And that spin, that classic spin. Oh, Naomi actually got it. She did it and remixed it. Go you. Happy birthday. Okay. ALLOURA, I don't know how to, like, it's tough. It's tough. I'm holding back the tears right now because I want to look great here. I don't want anybody to think, you know, I have my moments to cry. It's tough. It's tough because, you know, I didn't expect her to go so fast. You know, that's number one. I don't think we ever expect that to happen. Two, I tried. At one part of my life, I was like, come on, you know, you can stay in my home with me. It's fine. Like, you know, I don't care about nothing. You don't have to bring me nothing. I just want you to be better. And I learned that lesson as well, that like no matter how hard you try, you can still lose. And that hurts a lot, you know, to know like, okay, I let her in my home. I wanted this to happen. I wanted this so bad. And it's just like, you know, that wasn't part of that story. God had another plan. And how
do you think ALLOURA will be right now if she was alive in the scene and right now as far as her personality? Because I talk about it with people. I think like for Ballroom Throwbacks, you know, the opportunities available now, as you and I both know, was not available back then. And I'm thinking about it. You know, you girls would have been on TV if they had all this stuff that was right or wrong. Y'all.
I mean, through you with all the successful work that you know, you've become tremendously successful, and that would have been the only way we could have done these things is through you, because we can't just run everywhere and say, hey, tape us, you know.
No, you're right, but I'm saying, but back then, if they had the stuff that was available now,
if they had the stuff back then, wow, I couldn't. I can't imagine the possibilities that would have taken place.
If ALLOURA was next to you right now, next to you in the chair doing this interview, what would you?
I feel like she is actually. I kind of could feel her spirit here. First of all, she'll be nudging me right now, saying, "Girl, bye." Wow, ALLOURA, if she was here right now, she would probably be on the same page like with me. In the war to stop the violence in Ballroom, you know what I mean? To show these girls, no matter what you're doing, vogue in your zone. Do not come to the next girl's space. Don't kick, don't punch, don't fight. She's another one. I've never really seen ALLOURA ever have a physical fight on the runway, which showed me right there she was a master of her craft. No matter how dramatic
she was she was a cat fight girl.
And she was a cat fight. Truthfully, I think they were scared of her. Because you knew not to get in that one's way right there. Laura had a storm inside of her that nobody past. So when I'm out there and I'm performing and people see me, they're seeing both of us. You know, she's definitely inside of me in a different way that's just like no one can understand, you know. But I feel for her mom, her family. I have to actually try to reach out, you know, to make sure she's holding up well. But you know, I never knew it.
Okay. Now we're talking about you, your womanhood. When I mean your womanhood, prison for you. What did that do to Yolanda?
Well,
for those that don't know, you know, you did a stint in prison. They did a documentary that you was in. First, looking back at that documentary, you know, that was well over 10 years ago.
Right. And
would you have done it?
No.
Why
no.
is that?
I wouldn't have done it because I don't like the way I was viewed on there with the other individuals that were being taped. I do not think that they were women at all. Mm-hmm. So the person that did the actual taping lied to me to tell me that they taping other transgender women, and then I could be kind of out of myself because maybe they were, and so they had all the difficult years and stuff that they had to do. I did not like the conversation about the one performing her own sexual reassignment. I think it just went a little bit too far, and I didn't know what I was actually putting myself in. You know, they said they was going to give me money, they said they was going to do this, do that, and none of this stuff happened to this day.
Have you ever been recognized from that documentary?
I've been recognized like on the streets. If I do black hair, like I was going somewhere one time with jet black. No, honestly, like it was so crazy. I was walking to the store and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there she goes. We know her." Oh. So I'm like, huh? And he's like, "Documenting me. I know you. I seen you. I know what's going on." I know he's going ham, Puerto Rican boy. So I'm like, wait a minute, calm down. Me documenting me. He said, you. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was the moment when I went jet black. So I know not to do that color hair because I am like a metamorphic. I could sit here and look like this. You get at me, but then I turn into black and I turn into
Well, you changed a lot. You know, this is going to that style. Well, I'm going to come back to your style later. But prison, what did that do to you?
It makes you cherish life more. It makes you want to really strive to never put yourself back into those positions. It helped me as far as like my educational skills. I did take most of that time to go to school and learn things, and you know, it makes you cherish your life. It makes you understand, like, you know, do not put yourself in these positions to get there, but then at the same time it's a learning experience. It's all in God's hands. You get, and it's kind of just like a moment to just sit back and say, okay, well, you know, this is happening and this is what I have to do. I can't get around it. That's the whole hard part about it. Trying to keep the hormones and stuff in there, and you know, it's tough because, you know, you're like this, and then you're like a lamb in a sea of lions. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, so you know, with my attitude and my, you know, toughness is what got me through. You know, like the boys knew not to carry on and try it with me, and just I don't know, it was difficult a little bit though. I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna say like, hey, everybody commit a crime and go to jail. No, but it will teach you a lesson. But it's very difficult, and you have to really be mentally strong to get through that part of life.
If you had a crystal ball as a child, you say, or if someone came to you and told you, because you know you've experienced the streets, you've experienced everything per se in this walk of journey, do you think you would have still went through your transition?
No, but I know that it made me who I am today. And aside to that, I wish I didn't go through some of that stuff. I wish I was.
Do you think it hardened you?
It hardened me, but it does a lot. It hardens you because I'm a femme queen. You know, for a guy, it's kind of different. It's like, hey, they in there, they meet a couple of guys, possibly fall in love. How you doing?
How you doing?
But I wouldn't have went through that stuff. I have a very tough skin. I do understand that I'm that type. Like, you're gonna tell me to do something, I'm gonna say alright, but then I'm gonna find my own way. And I want to kind of try to I am actually trying to change that. Trying to be a little bit more, well, maybe you are right, or maybe I could listen to that, or maybe, just kind of taking small advice and small, it's nothing hard with just taking a second opinion on things instead of saying, I got this, and I this, and I'm no hell with y'all, and F y'all, you know what I mean? I mean, that attitude for me doesn't even fit my persona no more, because also I've gotten very spiritually connected, being in prison.
How did you, me knowing you so long, and I've noticed lately, and I noticed it, how did you get a relationship with the Lord? How did that happen for you?
Okay, shout outs to Shine Williams. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but my ex, it was a part where we were going through some stuff, and he told me, Yolanda, here, we're gonna pray. And I'm like, me, young Yolanda, pray. I ain't no God, I don't believe in this stuff. I'm all whatever, but things has happened to me, even to now. Things are continuously happening, but he's showing me that no matter what happens, I have you. And it's just a trust that you have to have with God. It's a real shaky experience, because like me and my son spoke about earlier, he's not there when you want him, but he's always on time. He's a patient God. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not a rush. It's not, you have to really take time with a relationship with God. It's an intimate relationship with him that you have to have. You can't love no other man. You can't love no other woman. You only have to love him. And that's where people, I feel like, on the earth get stagnated, because they try to love God and then love someone else, and then it's like, no.
So how do you know he's real? How do you know for you?
I know God is real because I'm still here, number one.
Healthy.
My mom, healthy, happy. My mom is still here. We have gone through so much. But to know that she is my best friend right now, to know that some of the things I've been through, she's actually been through, and telling me to just brush it off and go. I'm so full right now. Like, this day had to be like one of the best days for me, because some days are bad, some days are good, but this was one of my, because I took advice. I slowed it down. I seen my kids, I seen my mom, I seen my brother. Like, everything went great, but it's so intimate. It's like you have to know that God is real and trust in that only. Even when something goes bad, you still will sit back and say, okay, God got me. And it can't get any worse than, it could have been worse than that, but he has me. So with that, when you know that and you have that security with him, you'll feel better as an individual, even in being our lifestyle, because that's another hard thing that I feel a lot of people kind of stray away from. Oh, I'm gay, or I'm in the life, so it's not. I mean, I feel that underneath our shell is a soul, and that soul does not have a gender or a sex or anything written on it. So
you can't take this with you.
Right. None of this can come with us, but our soul, our inner, because think about it, you have the soul, you have the bones, and then you have the skin. You ain't taking none of that but the soul. So he's gonna lie everything out in front of you and let you know if you are, if you can go to the gates of heaven. So for people to feel different with their lifestyles, God is not judging you on your lifestyle. He's judging you on you and what you do.